Hey guys, just me this week. This week I thought I would do a video with it being the summer and with it having been increasingly hot. I thought it would be very topical just to talk about what it's like to have an eating disorder when the weather is this nice during the summer months. So I'm going to give a little trigger warning just at the start of this video. I'm going to be talking about my own experiences with ED, as well as body issues, and then some more sort of physical manifestations of eating disorders such as scarring and stretch marks and things. So if you're not comfortable listening to any of that, this is your warning now. Just, I won't be offended if you want to tune into the next video and skip this one. So that's fine. I'll see you next time. But yeah, I'm going to start off just by giving a little background on myself. If you haven't seen previous videos, my name's Ellie, and I've been struggling with an eating disorder for most of my life, since high school, since I can remember. I've had issues with my own sort of body shape and how I look and the amount of food that I take in on a daily basis. And I used to deal with this through bulimia nervosa, so just expelling food through whatever means necessary after having a meal and feeling guilty about having had that food. I don't do this anymore. I am in recovery, so I'm no longer what I would consider to be a bulimic, but I am a recovering bulimic. I still have the thought patterns and the triggers, which the summer months have made increasingly aware to me what my triggers are, which I guess is a good thing, that it's kind of highlighted what is really triggering to me. But at the same time, just being aware constantly it can be quite draining, and so I'm just putting a little video out there in case there's anyone else going through similar kind of issues at the moment, because it has been so hot. I live in Scotland, and even here it has been so warm, and I've been sunburned over the weekend, which is crazy. It's kind of fading now, and even then you probably can't see it on my camera, but oh my god, it's been causing a flare-up of a lot of things. So I'm just going to start by breaking down sort of the more obvious sort of physical symptoms of that. So it's been a lot warmer, and me having a lot of issues with the way my body looks. I've been wanting to dress in a way that sort of shows more skin, and it's been a bit of a personal achievement of mine to be able to wear, shorter shorts and to show more leg. I have a lot of stretch marks on my legs, just from weight gain and weight fluctuation, and so it's a big deal for me to be able to do that. As well as this, I got a tattoo earlier on in the year of a little sunset. I don't know if you can see it here, just there. I'm not going to show off any scarring in this video because that could be extremely triggering to people, but I have a lot of scarring on my stomach, and it can be quite triggering for me just to see myself in the mirror, as well as to sort of show that tattoo to other people, which is why I really challenged myself to get that tattoo there in particular, to kind of own that body part. And I feel that I've been showing that off a lot more recently, not necessarily in outfits that I'm wearing, but just when people ask to see it, I'm sort of being a bit braver, and I would never push someone that wasn't comfortable showing certain body parts to show that body part, but for me, that's been a little challenge that I set myself, just to kind of step outside my comfort zone, to wear things that are a little bit cooler, make myself a bit more comfortable in this weather, because you should be able to be comfortable in the hot weather regardless of your body type, your body shape, and that's just a right that everybody should have. So that's a more obvious sort of physical symptomology. Because of my anxiety, I get quite a lot of eczema, and I scratch quite a lot. It's usually brought on by stress, but it's also being brought on by the heat at the moment, so that's been something I've had to sort of manage and keep under control as well. I know there are a lot of people that get it at a higher degree than I do, and a much more severe degree, but even now I'm scratching just talking about it. Which I shouldn't be doing. Always, if you see your friends with eczema and they've asked you to call them on scratching, give them a shout, say, don't know if you're aware that you're doing this, but you are. I have a friend that gives me a shout when he knows that I've got a dry mouth and I'm scratching there, or if I've got other scratching going on, he always gives me a shout. So if you see someone and they're scratching, and whether it's brought on by the heat or it's brought on by, stress or just anxiety, then just give them a shout, make them aware. There are ways you can deal with that. I've been calling my GP recently, drinking a lot more water, making sure that I get loads of emollient cream and lots of moisturiser. Eczema is a broad spectrum, it's different for everybody, but if you have strategies in place make sure that you're keeping to those routines. I know it can be hard. Even showering at the moment is difficult just with all the skin issues and all the body issues going on for me. But just motivating myself to do that on a semi-daily basis, even if it's every second day, is good and helps me keep on top of that routine there. So that's probably the first thing. The second thing, of course, is just the influx of bikini body rage happening over the summer. There's shows like Love Island that are on that are very much the demographic of being aimed at teens and young women like myself. I don't personally watch the show. I've tuned into it a few times, as well as obviously all the women being very beautiful and quite slim, sort of stereotypically, generically slim. There's also a lot of advertising that happens within the show, which I've read a lot of NHS articles on. Because of the demographic that it's aimed at, a lot of the advertising within the show is to do with beauty products, beach bodies, bikini bodies, and as well as this plastic surgery. So again, kind of promoting a body type there that people maybe won't be happy with themselves and need to change themselves in some way, and promoting that idea for people that maybe haven't sought out plastic surgery for themselves but are now thinking, oh, is there something wrong with my body? Do I need to change this? And kind of imprinting unhealthy ideals there. There's nothing wrong with plastic surgery if that's for you, if that's a lifestyle that you've chosen for yourself. It's your money, you go for it. But again, just the advertising there can imprint ideas in people that are already having unhealthy ideals about themselves. So there's shows like Love Island, there's been an influx of my friends going on holiday recently, and so there's a lot of photos out there. There are friends of mine that are pregnant, which has just reinforced my own fear of pregnancy, as I'm someone who really needs to be in control of my weight and my body shape. I have no issue with other people's pregnancies, and babies are adorable and I love them, but the idea of having my own really scares me, because I'm someone that needs to be very much in control of how much I weigh, what my body looks like, and of course you sort of lose that control when you're having a baby, and of course you make that choice, and that's something that is probably very worth it at the end when you're someone who's chosen that lifestyle. But for me, at the moment, it's definitely not something I could deal with, and so that's something that I've really been reflecting on mentally at the moment as well. I've had a lot more free time just being between jobs at the moment and back on my 0-hour contract before I start my new job, which is an exciting time. But at the same time, I've had a lot more free time to go to the gym, which means that I have a tendency to kind of beat myself up, not physically but mentally, when I'm not going to the gym every day, or when I'm not spending a certain amount of time at the gym. And I think the good thing is that I'm very aware of this, and I know not to guilt myself, not to punish myself when I'm not going. And another thing is that because it's the summer and a lot of people are going on holiday, a lot of people are trying different diet fads. I personally don't really believe in diets as doing people any good. You can eat healthily and exercise without having to subscribe to a diet fad, but some people it really helps. Me personally, I don't find them helpful. I really just find that they ingrain unhealthy sort of ideals and expectations of what you're supposed to consume and what you're supposed to do on a daily basis, as well as that calorie counting is really triggering to me. And so seeing people around me sort of limiting themselves to a certain amount of calories in a day, when I'm eating in front of those people, I feel a little bit vulnerable and a little bit insecure about how much I'm eating. And even though I know that they're probably not judging me, I'm getting a sort of a heightened ideal of, are these people judging me because they're limiting their diet and I'm not limiting mine? But I just have to remind myself that that's not something that's right for me. Dieting is not right for me. I've tried it before. It just skews my perception of how much food I'm allowed, and I take it to the extreme. I prefer to sort of just eat healthily and exercise the appropriate amount without taking that to the extreme, and just making sure that I'm on top of that. All of it is quite difficult during the summer months, and I guess that's the point I'm trying to get through with this video. But we can get through this together and just enjoy the lovely weather. Like I say, regardless of your body type, your body shape, any colour, any size, woman, man, wear whatever you like. Like, honestly, there's this quote that I came across on the internet recently that's quite a thing that's just generic, but how to get a bikini body, put a bikini on your body, you know, or a mankini, or whatever, depending on your gender or how you identify. But just wear what makes you comfortable in this hot weather that we're having recently, because there's no sense in making yourself uncomfortable just for other people's judgment and for what other people may not even be judging you for, but what you may feel you may be being judged for out in public. Just be comfortable within yourself, and don't push yourself. Like I say, these things that I've mentioned in this video are wee challenges I've set myself, to be showing a little bit more skin. I'm trying to be a little bit more body positive within myself and just owning those parts of my body, like my stomach with my scars, my thighs with my stretch marks, wearing those shorts, showing my tattoo a bit more. Those are just personal challenges I've set myself, and that I'm quite proud of the fact that I've managed at the moment. And as well as that, just keeping on top of not gymming to the excess, not letting advertising and other people's expectation, other people's lifestyles, making sure that I'm not comparing myself to them. I think I've mentioned the Teddy Roosevelt quote before, but comparison really is the thief of joy, because if you're comparing yourself to other people constantly, you'll never be happy with how you are. And it's really important to just love yourself for you. You're the best person at being you. And a lot of people out there will love you just for being you. And I'm sure you are a beautiful, beautiful human. Everyone is beautiful in their own way. So you just stick to being you. And I really hope that you enjoy the summer, and that it's not been too pressuring or too triggering a time for you. Like I say, there have been lows for me, but there's also been highs. I've had a lot of chances to sit out in the sun and just be making the most of this nice weather and, really enjoying myself. So I really hope that you do too, and I will see you next time. And thanks very much for all the support as always, guys. It really does mean the world that you've been supporting all my videos. I hope to have some more guests on soon as well, like the lovely Lena last time. Thank you for sending her all the love and supporting that video. And I will see you next time. Be sure to like and share, so we can get that message of breaking down the stigma of mental health, and just even sharing my own story helps people that are going through a similar thing to feel like they are not alone. And so that's why it's really important for me to just put it out, my story out there in this forum, just so people can see that and feel, yeah, I'm not alone in this. There's one other person going through this. I'll link to some resources below, like I always do. And if you have any questions, anything you want covered in future videos, just give me a wee message in the comments, or you can send me a private message if you're not comfortable doing that. And I'm very happy with all of those things. So I'll see you next time, guys. Thanks very much for watching. Bye.